Oh no! Oh! Oh! Give them whatever they want. Just make it stop. Okay. Yuck. Portland protesters decided that clothing was optional on a 15-degree rainy day because nothing says take me seriously like minimal coverage and maximum shivering. They took to the streets to make a point against ICE, and the internet went wild. Social media is losing it, and we are too, as the Portland protesters break out their weapons of mass repulsion. Unfortunately, this is not the first time we've seen this type of display. Back in 2000, we had one of these "my work is real work" protesters who got in this pose in front of the cops to, I guess, remind them that they needed to stop by the market and pick up some fish for dinner. Thank God they brought their gas masks. You know, when your work is real work, you don't have to go around defending it to people. You never hear a teacher or a firefighter or a doctor or a plumber, a lawyer. None of those people say that. No, I have to convince you that I'm doing a real job. This story was hard to forget. I remember she went by the name of Clothing Optional Athena.
Well, somewhere where you wouldn't want to have security cameras because you would not want to be looking at this footage unless you have to, or unless the late debate shows it to you, is Portland, Oregon, where they held an emergency edition of the World Bike Ride to protest ICE. And there you go, just some individuals. Thankfully, we've blurred the worst of it for you, protesting outside an ICE facility. I think they just look very well
balanced.
adjusted.
They look balanced.
Very significant contributors to society. It's quite the sight. There may have been children walking past. This was a public space after all.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
What I don't understand, Caleb, is why they think this is going to win anyone to their cause.
Well, the thing,
don't you just look at that and go, I want to be the exact opposite of whatever this is?
I also want to be as far away from it as humanly possible, too. Ugh.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because yes, surely the point of protest is to, you know, bring some. I mean, look, they're getting publicity, so I suppose from that perspective, they're getting what they want. Like, it's the worst advertisement for your cause that you could possibly find. And did you ever watch the Louis Theroux doco, one of the Weird Weekends ones, where he goes and spends time with the?
This is the thing. So when you go to a camp, so I'm told, possibly by that Louis Theroux doco, they're very, very particular about putting a little napkin on all of the chairs before you sit down, for obvious reasons, if you think about it. Right? What about the poor bicycle seats?
Oh, I know.
I mean, just think from a hygienic perspective alone. Well, I had what is going on with all
riding a bike?
I hope those aren't rentals.
Well,
what is going on with all
riding a bike is uncomfortable enough as it is, particularly if it's a road bike with those, you know, slim road bike saddles on them. It's uncomfortable enough as it is. That's why if you've got the riding shorts, they've got padding in them to protect you. Well, I can't imagine what it would be like with your off.
Imagine the chafing and the rubbing and the blisters. I just don't want to imagine it. It also is worse because apparently it was around 15 degrees at the time of the protest. I mean, that's cold, and it was raining, and then you've got the wind chill factor.
Portland's weirdest forms of protest made its return today. The bike ride is usually a call for climate action and safer roads, but today cyclists ended their route at the ICE building to protest the Trump administration's call to send military troops to Portland. Fox 12's McKenna Marks spoke to some cyclists and tells us what inspired them to get involved.
I kind of forget I'm just hanging out. Hundreds of Portlanders gathered outside the convention center Sunday afternoon for the emergency World Bike Ride. The bike ride is one of the Rose City's weirdest traditions and usually advocates for climate action and safer streets. But this time, the bike ride took the form of a protest.
We're here because we strongly believe that we do not need federal troops in Portland.
Some participants showed up in costumes, while others showed up in nothing at all. But regardless of what you were wearing, participants tell me it was a welcoming and accepting atmosphere.
It is electric, so fun, it's so Portland, just keeping everything weird.
After leaving the convention center, cyclists briefly stopped to stage a die-in on Burnside Bridge. Minutes later, participants ended their route at the ice facility in Portland. Well, this year's bike ride drew in a crowd of beginners.
No, I've never done it before, but I'm very excited to be here. It's actually my first Portland protest, too.
Seasoned bike riders tell me this year's ride meant something extra special.
This has more impact. We're doing it for something bigger than just like freedom of expression. You know, we're doing it for human rights.
And in true Portland fashion, these protesters didn't let the cold and rainy weather dampen their spirits.
So we're all here for something that's meaningful. Made the cold and made the rain so much worth it.
McKenna Marks, Fox 12 Oregon.
And the audience is laughing. It's really not how you make change. Or more importantly, sense.
So apparently Portland is organizing an emergency bike ride in response to Trump sending federal troops into the city. And honestly, that might be the most Portland thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, we agree on that. We totally agree.
In fact, it might be the most Portland sentence ever constructed in the English language. Like, that sentence smells of beard oil and locally sourced kombucha. I just know somewhere out there a kale plant has now been radicalized and is out there yelling, "Down with the system, up with the fiber." And I love it because other cities are like, we're going to draft petitions, file lawsuits, organize marches. But not Portland. Portland is like, we ride at dawn this summer. And meanwhile, the folks out in Portland are just trying to practice civil disobedience and breath work. Inhale for justice. Exhale the patriarchy. And maybe apply some sunscreen because things are starting to chafe.
And the Simpsons meme says it all.
The Portland bike ride is going to be on Sunday the 12th. Starts at 2:30. Location TBD. Spread the word.
We just did the emergency bike ride in Portland. And we had to turn around and head out earlier than everyone else because we had to get home to our babysitter, who's my mother-in-law, because we have a toddler. Is that gate open? Hang on. As I was saying, we have a toddler. The gate was open. It was. And twin 1-year-olds. And it's a lot. So we got home. We came home early. Either way, we were coming back. We turned around, riding our bikes back, and we stopped in front of a building. We didn't know what building. We stopped in front of a building. And I wanted to put my sweatshirt on under my poncho. And I started to hear, there was like a group of people nicely dressed outside, and I figured it was like people that worked in the building. Yes, you got my hair tie. So I started to hear what they were saying, and I realized it was marriage vows. So to whoever was, getting married, and watched me and my guy ride up, and I was putting a sweatshirt on. Yes, hang on, babe. I love you. Hang on. Sorry, but also I hope that you kind of expected that to happen because you were getting married in Portland. But yeah.
Hey, I'm tapping out. They win. Tapping out. No, that was me. Hey, guys, that was me. Guys, Weston, that's me over here. No, that's me tapping right here. That is not any good. I'm gonna get Hassan over here. You don't stop working, I'm gonna call Hassan. What's that? stopper. I buy me a coffee link to buy Leroy a dog treat. Leroy, stop that. You're so cute. Oh, I love you. I love you. You guys steal the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Leroy, you're not bored, are you? Leroy, did you know that 9 out of 10 people only watch to see you? Yeah. I'm just kind of here holding space for you. It's true. It's true. Leroy, you're so much fun. You're way more fun than any puppet. Right, Leroy?